Hi, my name is Efraim Kaplan from Oakland, New Jersey, and we'll be learning Tehillim chapter 110, Kuk Yud, Li'ilei Nishmas, Sarivka Basarav Nachum Umindol Drach. Okay, so this chapter is very interesting. It's a very short chapter, only 7 psukim long, so 7 verses, but it's chock full of information, very interesting psukim, and hopefully I'll go through some of the psukim that interested me, and I had some thoughts about, or what I listened from Shurim. And the last pasuk really brings out something that we can take in our everyday lives, and I'll go through that. So this chapter is interpreted in the Mefarshim in four different ways. The first way it's referring to Avram Avinu, Abraham, and it's in the sense that Hashem is telling Abraham, sit shave limini. That's in the first pasuk. Sit by my right. Ad ashis ovecha hadam laraglecha, until I make your enemies a footstool for you, a footstool for you. And it's saying that it's referring to Avram in the war of the 4 kings versus the 5 kings, which Avram took part in. Hashem is telling Avram, sit by my right side, and I will fight the battle for you. The second level talking about is David before he was king, when Shaul was chasing him. And again, Hashem is saying, Shev Limini, sit by my right, learn Torah mitzvahs, and that in mysticism, Yamin, Yamin, the side of the right side, which just refers to also Chesed, loving kindness, also refers to Torah, doing Torah, learning Torah and doing mitzvos. So Hashem is saying just also to Avram, do Torah and mitzvos, sit by my right side, do Torah and mitzvos, and I'll fight the battles for you. And he's also saying to David, sit by my right side, and I'll fight against Shaul for you. And the third level it's talking about is David HaMelech after he became king, in the sense that sit by my right side and I'll fight the battles for you. As we know that David fought a lot of battles when he was king, and in fact it happened in Nach that the generals told David HaMelech to sit in the castle and we'll fight for you. And the fourth level is talking about is the level of Mashiach. And that he's saying, and this is a little more mystical for those who are more mystically inclined. It says, Shave limini, sit by my right side. And it says in Daniel, in one of the psukim, it says, Mashiach zelarkam, Keitz hayamin, with a nun sofit, Keitz hayamin. So some people say Keitz hayamin means in Aramaic, like we have in Hebrew, Keitz hayamim, with a mem. Keitz hayamin in Aramaic means the same thing, at the end of days. But there's also a level of Keitz Yamin, the end of the right side. Yamin is the right side. So and as we know, this Olam Chesed Yiboneh. So the world is built on Chesed, which is also which is considered the right side, everything Chesed is Yamin. So and Chesed, like we said, is Torah and mitzvos. So it says Shave Keitz Yamin, the end of the Chesed. Shave limini, sit by my right, wait, limini, until the right is over, Keitz hayamin, which means until the Jews do Torah and mitzvos, and that's when Hashem is going to send Mashiach. So that's a little more mystical. I'm not going to go through the psukim, address that, but just to give a broad overview of what this whole chapter is really talking about. And now we'll go through some of the psukim. And it says in pasuk beis, Mate uscha, the staff or the stick of your strength, Yishlach Hashem Mitzion. Hashem is going to send from Zion, meaning Yerushalayim. Redei bikerev ovecha. You're going to rule in the midst of your enemies. So bikerev can mean more than one thing. Bikerev can mean inside your enemies, like the organs, or bikerev means in the war against your enemies, or the pshat is in the midst of your enemies. And then, so this time again, we can apply it to the four different people. Avram Avinu in his war, David HaMelech when he was fighting from Shaul, David HaMelech in his wars against the goyim around him, and Mashiach, which I'm not going to apply now. I didn't see it in the Mefarshim so well. And so Amcha Nedabos, your people of volunteers, B'yom Chelecha, on your day of war. That Amcha Nedabos basically B'shat means that what does it mean? A volunteer army, not a conscripted army. A volunteer army means people like you, people like David, people like Avram, and they will fight for him. And Bahadre Kodesh, why? Because of your resplendent kodesh kedusha, your sanctity. Merechem mishkar, kama merechem mishkar, from when you were born, basically. Lecha tal yadusecha, for you is the dew of your youth. So this pasuk interested me, and I heard that tal yadusecha, the dew of your youth. What does it mean? If we look at a baby, babies are cute. Babies are considered cute. Babies are considered beautiful, pure. But really, what is a baby? A baby is really a selfish thing. It has no das. It has no intellectual capabilities, and therefore everything it wants is for itself. But it also has this level of tahara that it didn't actually do any sins. So maybe this is what is referring to that people are attracted to David's tahara, to his purity, to his able to be charismatic because of his kedusha, and that's why people volunteer for David and for Avram. And yeah, next pasuk. Nishba Hashem v'lo yinachem. Hashem swears and he's not going to change his mind. Atachoin liolam al divrasi malki tzedek. You are a priest forever on the words of Malki Tzedek. And choin liolam doesn't mean just a priest forever. It can also mean a priest for the world, or a priest. A priest, as we know, is somebody who teaches Torah to the people. That was one of the Kohen's jobs in times of the bias. And it says choin liolam, that these three people, Avram, David, and Mashiach, are considered the messenger or the teacher of Hashem to the world, like El Ha'olam, to the world. And then Al Divrasi Malki Tzedek, because either you are a righteous king, or because on the words of Malki Tzedek, meaning Malki Tzedek was called Shem, as we Shem and Aver. Shem gave a blessing to Avram that he would be a leader, a righteous leader, and that's what it is. That's what it says. Hashem is saying you are a Kohen forever, according to the words of Malki Tzedek. And then the next couple of pasukim is Hashem al yamin. Hashem is to your right hand, protecting you. Machatz v'yom apel malachim. He's going to crush on the day of his anger kings. Yod bagoyim is going to judge the nations. Malagivias that are full of dead bodies. Machatz rosh al eretz rabba. He will crush the leader on the great big land. And this pasuk 7 is really what interested me a lot. Minachal baderech yishteh. From a river on the way, you're going to drink. Al kein yodim reish. Therefore, because you're going to drink on the river on the way, that's why you're going to proudly lift your head. So if we look at the pshat of this pasuk is, the simple understanding of this pasuk is that the enemies of Israel, when they were attacking Israel during the times of the Bias and David and even Abram, the 4 versus 5 kings, they felt so confident that they can go on the road instead of being hidden in the fields or in the forests, and go on the road and steal from Jewish wells. And that's what's referring to. From a river you're going to drink, or from Jewish rivers, Jewish irrigation. And therefore they're going to have a lot of ga'ava, they're going to have a lot of gaiva, a lot of very, very pompous that they can do this, and they're in the open, and they're not scared of the Jews. That therefore they're going to be very pompous and be very, very proud of themselves, because they're in the open and they're not scared of being attacked. But and Hashem says in the previous Sukkim, because of all this, that's why I'm going to Machatz Rosh, I'll kind of crush the leaders, Yodim Bagoyim, Machatz Beyom Apo, Melachim, I'm going to judge the nations. So, but there's another explanation that this pasuk 7 is not referring to the enemies of the Jews, but it's referring to the Jews themselves. And this is where I think this hora'ah, that, as we know, that Tanakh was written for the generation. There's a lesson, and I think this pasuk 7 has a very clear lesson for our generation. In that, minachal baderech, from a river you will drink, and this is referring to the Jewish people, and it's saying baderech in our lives, which is, as we know, it's called a derech. Minachal yishta, you're going to drink from a river. You should drink from a river. It's as a command, saying, as we know, a river has water. And the Torah is referred to Mayim Chayim, water of life, and this is what the pasuk is saying, that from a menachal yishta, on the way of life, one of the most important things you can do is drink from the water of Torah and mitzvos, and that's what it means. Learn Torah and mitzvos, and this is what this is what this chapter is coming to tell us, that when we're in Galus, that we're in this darkness. of where we can't see Hashem, one of the most important things we can do is learn Torah, especially like I said before in the previous Tillim that I did, that the job today of at least American Jewry is really to we're in a time of peace. We're in a time of, thank God, we're in a time of Chesed. This is a very great country for us, America. So that our main job is to learn Torah and mitzvos and help our Jewish brothers and sisters all around the world, and also to bring Mashiach closer. And that's what it says, B'nachal b'derech yishta. And not only minachal b'derech yishta, but also al ken yarim rosh. You also proudly lift your head. And we should be proud Jews, and we shouldn't want to assimilate. We shouldn't want to be the same as everybody else. We should be proud that we're Jews, and we should really be proud of our special nachal, our special heritage that we have, and especially the Torah. And I think that's what this chapter is trying to tell us. That we should learn Torah. That this is one of the most important things we can do, and we should also be proud Jews.